y'all today, and what a wonderful facility. And before I get started, I want to introduce a friend of mine that's a great friend of agriculture. He lives in the area. He represents this area. John Frullo. John, sit. Wait a minute. John's up for re-election, so he needs all of our help. He's a good guy. He's one of the guys that I count on a lot when the legislature's in session. So I am Sid Miller. I'm the 12th Commissioner of Agriculture for the state of Texas. I've been elected a year, about a week I've been in office. I'm an 8th generation farmer and rancher. We came to this country in the early 1700s and fought in the war for independence and Civil War, World War I and II. After the Civil War, we were cotton raisers in Mississippi. We got burned out, so we moved to Texas. We've been here the last 4 generations. I live in Stephenville, Texas, where I still make my living off the land as a cattle operation, horse operation, American Quarter horses, and grow various crops. My main crop is I grow trees. I grow shade trees for the landscape industry. I graduated with a degree in agriculture education. Was an ag teacher for 5 years when I got out of college, and FFA advisor and 4-H leader. So I like to tell everybody that our greatest natural resource we have in this state is not oil and gas, it's our youth. So we put a big emphasis on that at the Texas Department of Agriculture. We made a lot of changes at the Texas Department of Agriculture since in the last 12 months. My number one priority during the campaign, and still is today, is water. When I took office, the Texas Department of Agriculture, we didn't have a water department. We didn't even have one employee that was dedicated to that subject. So one of the first things I did was create a Department of Water, and I hired an assistant commissioner in charge of that. Anybody know Dan Hunter from the Tier down at Carver State? Several of you do. He's one of the premier guys in water research. He had water projects not only across the United States, but on every continent on the globe. So glad to have him on board. Glad to announce that the Texas Water Development Board put out their research that agriculture is actually 95% efficient with the water you use. So you need to give yourself a hand for that. Go ahead. But industry is not quite so efficient, and our municipalities are not quite so efficient. Some of our larger municipalities, from the time they receive their water that they deliver to the customers, are losing 30%. So we're working with those municipalities to address that problem. We're doing things like rainwater catchment, rainwater harvesting. We're implementing a rainwater catchment certification program for those professionals that they've never had before. We're working on reusing gray water on these newer subdivisions that are going and capturing that and using it to irrigate the green belts. And we're trying to change their mind away from stormwater drainage, which they spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on, which is a liability, to rainwater catchment, and use that as an asset instead of a liability. So we're slowly getting their thought process changed. We've revived our marketing program. You may not know that, but one time TDA had a good market reporting program. We revived that. That's back in place now. And we've grown that in 12 months to about 8,000 to 9,000 subscribers. If you'd like to get the daily market update, you can go to our webpage, texasagriculture.gov, click on the marketing program, and we'll send that to your phone or your desktop or iPad every day at close of business. You can get it around 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Also, about 3:30, I come out with a 60-second broadcast of the closing market report, just to wrap up a summary, and that goes out to over 100 radio stations, and you can also download that if you want to get it down and dirty in quick version of the closing market report. We've been working real hard for our producers across Texas. We've taken our marketing level, I'd like to say we put it on steroids. Not only our marketing programs, the Go Texas program, not only are we just marketing that throughout Texas and the surrounding states, but all across the nation, all across the globe. I have hosted over 40 foreign countries in my office in the last 12 months. Me or my staff have been on every continent on the globe, again, with the exception of Antarctica. I personally spent 11 days in China and opened up some really good markets specifically for our Texas pecans and some other products. Next month we're taking a delegation to Cuba. The month following that we'll go to Israel. And one of the main reasons that I want to go to Israel is to bring back water technologies for the agriculture industry and for everybody else, because that's kind of where they're known as leaders around the world when it comes to water conservation and water technology. So we still, even though we're at 95% efficient, we still have some room that we can improve in the way we handle water. I was touring facility this morning, Smartfield. Instead of using tensiometers, they use the temperature of the plant to calculate the stress on the plant. So we should be able to gain maybe 30, 40, or 50% more efficiency and have production go up while using less water. And that's good. And we have to continue to use technology to feed the world. We have a moral obligation to feed the world. And we're going to have to continue to do it. We're going to have to continue to produce more with less. We still lose about 1 farm a week in this state. So with urban encroachment and other things that are going on, so that we're doing some innovative things. And right here in your community, a couple of months ago, I was over in Littlefield, and they're repurposing that denim mill over there to make a milk plant out of it. So we did the groundbreaking on that. They're going to make powdered milk, so they'll have over 100 loads of milk coming in there a day. And of course, all that affluent, they bought about 3,000 adjoining acres, and they're going to use that for irrigation. So we're not even going to touch surface water, not going to touch groundwater unless they need to supplement that. So that's the kind of innovation that we need out here on the High Plains. You know, this area of the state wasn't always this way. You know, even 125 years ago, this was home where the buffalo roamed, and there wasn't much habitation out here. But 2 things happened, you know, changed the way of life as we know it out here. First, the trains came through. And then with the trains came the people. But what really changed the face of the country out here was irrigation. And we came across irrigation, and we turned some place that was just kind of a West Texas, you know, low rainfall event to one of the most beautiful paradises in the state. And it's one of our highest producing regions of the state. So that's why another reason that water is so important. We're working with water districts all across the state, very closely with LCRA. You may or may not know about this, but they cut the water off to our rice farmers in the southern part of our state. We went from 600,000 acres of rice in Texas down to 100,000 acres. There's a company down there called Rice Tech, and I had them in my office. They were picking up stakes and moving 200 employees in their business to Arkansas. So we worked with them. We worked with the Brazos River Authority and others. And now we've had some rain, and they're going to stay. But we can't just rely on that rain. We're having to plan for the future. So working with the LCRA, the Lower Colorado River Authority, we're making off-channel reservoirs. So in those high rainfall events, we can capture some of that. And that's just specifically for our agriculture irrigation. So we've got to think outside the box on that. We need to use some of these salt domes, underground storage, where we don't have evaporation in parts of the state where we can do that for off-channel storage. So we're working to make some of that happen. We're recently been involved in this area of the state in the storms that right after Christmas, big blizzard that came through July. We've been working with farmers and ranchers, particularly dairymen in the area, that had some terrific losses. We still don't have exact counts, but we think somewhere from 35 to 45,000 head of livestock that was lost up here. I've sent a letter to Secretary Bill Sack, USDA, asking for disaster declaration for these counties that were affected by that disaster. They can already go to the FSA and apply for the death on the livestock. But what we need this for is for those low-interest, long-term loans, because those cattle that they lost are the least of their worries. When you don't milk a cow for 3 or 4 days, she tends to dry up and the production goes down. So not only did they have a huge loss in livestock, but their production is, you know, they may have to dry some of those cows up and breed them, and they won't be back again for at least 9 to 10 months in most cases. So they're going to need something to tide them over. We do a lot of things with Texas Department of Agriculture. We have over 130 different functions, but one of them we have is we deliver infrastructure funds to rural Texas. We also deliver rural health care. The Office of Rural Health Care is under my jurisdiction at the Texas Department of Agriculture. Back in the drought, when these little towns started running out of water, we were able to provide them with funds to drill emergency wells. If they got down to 180 days of water or less, that's when we stepped in and worked with them and brought alternate water sources into those communities. So we were happy to do that. Don't may think I'm crazy, but I'm encouraging people. Someone asked me earlier about what about this sustainability movement? I said, sustainability movement. I said, the Comanche Indians here were doing sustainability before we got here. We've been doing we know what sustainability is. It's not a buzzword with us. Sustainability is you got to do a good enough job to make a profit to sustain your family. I mean, that's what it really is, and taking care of the land. The one thing in common, if you're a farmer, in America, you're in Texas, or Maine, or Oregon, or Montana, your number one goal, without exception, is to leave your land in better shape than you found it for your children and your grandchildren. Anybody disagree with that? So we're not going to do anything to hurt this land that feeds our families. And it's part of our heritage. It's our lifestyle. We have certain family values. That's why everybody just loves Texas. There's something about us. As they say, you can always tell a Texan. You just can't tell us much. So I'm making a concerted effort. We own this environmental issue, but we don't talk about it. We just get defensive and let the greenies and environmental wackos and everybody else, beat on us all the time. It's our issue. I think we should take it back. The largest Earth Day event in the world is in Dallas, Texas. I'm going up there and I'm going to speak. I went last year. I'm going to invite agriculture groups to go in. We need to go up there and tell our story, because they're not here. They need to know who we are and how we take care of the land and how we cherish it, and how we want to pass it on to the next generation. And I would challenge anyone in any group in the room or any individual in the room that'd like to be on the panel and discuss that. We just need to get our story out, and we need to quit taking it. We need to start giving it back and letting the real message out there. One of the things that we work very closely on right after water, and actually water is probably the biggest part of this issue, is property rights. It's going to be a big issue in the legislature next time, John. And you know that's going to be one of the top priorities. So we're very interested in protecting rural Texas. We're having a little trouble doing that. At one time, well, actually, for years and years and years, we held every statewide office. Somebody from rural Texas. Rick Perry was from, Paint Creek. Mom and Dad were lieutenant farmers, cotton farmers there. David Dewhurst, he was one of the largest cattle operators in the state. Susan Combs, she's off the ranch in Marathon. Todd Staples, a farm in East Texas. And most of our speakers, Billy Wayne Clayton, Pete Laney, they were all from rural farmers. Now we have this whole fruit basket turnover. We got some good guys on us. I mean, they're great. They're doing a great job. But they've never lived our lifestyle. They don't understand what our family heritage is out here in rural Texas. So before, if something bad got through, and John couldn't stop it, well, the speaker would stop it, or the lieutenant governor, or the governor would veto it. We got to work a little harder at that now, because they don't understand like our previous state elected officials do. Our issues. They understand a lot of stuff and do it very, very well. So you need to be more involved with people like John Frulo or your state representative, and make sure that we stop that harmful stuff to agriculture in rural Texas before it ever gets out of committee or on the House or Senate floor. So we're looking very closely at property rights, and a lot of the property rights deal with water and how it's distributed. Personally, I think the water under your land is your property. You should be able to do it whatever you want. You want to irrigate with it. If you want to sell it, or you just want to let it sit, that should be your decision. And there'll be those that will try to, even if it's brackish water, that should be your decision. But there'll be those that will try to tweak and change the law where they kind of like, they'll come at you kind of like you eat an elephant. Anybody know how you eat an elephant? A little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. We lose our freedoms. So we're looking out for those private property rights. But without exception, I spend the largest amount of my time, and it shouldn't be this way, the largest amount of my time fighting the federal government. You know, I'm suing the EPA, I'm suing the Corps of Engineers over the WOTUS rule. We've had some success in that. We didn't get a stay on the original ruling, and another judge, we've got a stay, so they're not going to be able to implement that, so we take it all the way through the courts. And I'm fully convinced that I'll have to take our case all the way to the Supreme Court. The Senate backed what we said. You know, they passed a Senate bill to do away with the reverse WOTUS, and so did the House. Sent it to the President, and yesterday he vetoed it. So we're right back where we started. 2 weeks ago, I was in Denver meeting with the EPA, and I just asked them, I said, just tell me, whose idea was it to come up with this WOTUS rule? Who called you up and said, hey, y'all need to fix this? I want to meet that person. Oh, they said, well, it's, you know, it's congressman, and da-da-da. I want to meet that congressman. Well, you know, it's da-da-da, and this, and that. Well, they basically couldn't ever give me an answer. So, I said, basically, what y'all got here, everybody out here thinks everything's just fine. And what y'all aren't handling, the states will handle. And what the states don't handle, our water districts will handle. So, it looks like to me, you've got a problem in search of a solution. And that's exactly what it is. It's a problem in search of a solution. So we'll continue to work with that. My Deputy Commissioner Dan Hunter met again with EPA in Dallas 2 weeks ago. Next week I'll be in Washington, D.C., hammering on them again. Hey, they're going to know whose side we're on in Texas. I'm not going to let the pressure off of them. It's not going to be an easy road for them. We're not just going to let them, we're not going to roll over and take it. So we're there fighting for you. But it's not just the EPA. It's, well, actually I fight them on another deal to come up this week. They're recommending that we take the neonicotinoids away from cotton farmers and our citrus growers in South Texas. Those are essential to how we operate. You know, here's the deal. You know, it's all about the bee colony collapse. Here's what they don't tell you. 10 years ago, there was 2.4 million beehives in the United States. What do you think the colony collapse has done to that? Well, today there's 2.7 million. It's increased. So this deal about the colonies, bee colonies going away is all nonsense. There is a colony collapse. We have some problems with it. We'll address that. But it's not made out as bad as they would like you to think. Fighting the BLM, Bureau of Land Management, over up on the Red River. They originally wanted to try to seize 90,000 acres of farm and ranch land up there. They kind of backed off and they're down to 30,000 acres. But that's 1 acre is too much. You know, we're just not going to stand for that. So we're interjecting ourselves in that. Fish and Wildlife Service. I was talking to a gentleman here about the lesser prairie chicken. You know, we had a win on that one. We got that one reversed. But there's over 200 species proposed to be put on the endangered species list just for the state of Texas. You know, that's got to stop somewhere. Hopefully, we're one election away from turning this thing around and America being great again. And if I offended anybody that's for that other side, good. I don't care. I'm serious about taking this country back.